Okay, so really quickly, because I've got a plane to catch, I want to do a really quick unboxing of this case, which is the Antec P101 Silent. Now, I've been waiting for this case to turn up for ages. I had struck a deal with Antec's marketing team here in India that they would provide one of these for an upcoming project, but after some emails back and forth and an initial agreement that they would, they've now gone strangely silent. So I've been forced to spend my own money, which no one likes doing, on this case, which I must say has been expertly packed by Amazon. So this case is going to be used for a home server project, and it's got several features that make it suitably sort of apt for that sort of use. It's not like most cases that come out these days. It doesn't have glass panels, it doesn't have, a mesh front to allow lots of airflow through, it doesn't have RGB coming out everywhere, but what it does have are two key features for this sort of build. It has lots of space inside for hard disks, and it's designed, as the name intends, to be almost completely silent. So we have, emerging slowly from its chrysalis, seriously? I'm all for really good packaging. This is a little bit ridiculous. Finally. So we have the Antec, I'm out of breath, the Antec P101 Silent, the Silent Guardian. So I'm going to go ahead and open this box up for you, and we'll have a quick overview of the case, and then I'll tell you what we're going to be doing with it. There we go. Okay. Static. Okay. So this is, they're billing it as a mid-tower case, but to be honest, it's one of the bigger mid-tower cases I've seen. And as I said, this is designed to be for things like home server builds or any application where you need a lot of storage and you need it to be reasonably quiet. So it's got a few key features that sort of lend itself to that. The aesthetics, as you can see, are quite plain. Wow, that's heavy. Very, very plain front, plain side, plain back, plain top. It's really plain, and this is not going to look out of place in any office. It's a very minimalist look, which personally, having done a few sort of over-the-top RGB builds recently, I really like that this is really plain. And I think the RGB thing is getting a little bit overdone these days. The only sort of detailing that it's got on the front quarter here, as you can just see, there's some white trim on this front edge. So on the top we have power reset button, we have a fan speed selector, we have headphone and microphone slots, two USB 2s and two USB 3.1 type A sockets. Let's take the side panel off. So this is the first time I'm seeing this case in the flesh. I've got the spec open on my laptop in front of me. Now, what's interesting about this machine is there's no venting on this panel. It's completely flat panel, there's no glass or anything, and it's got this acoustic protection on the inside, which is designed to make our PC run nice and quiet. So we'll just put that to one side, and we'll have a look in the front here. So inside you have got space for a standard EATX, up to an EATX motherboard. You've got 120mm fan at the back. You've got 3 120mm fans at the front. You've got space for an optical drive which is hidden, so I'm assuming this door must... Oh look, that opens. The door opens. So there's your airflow, and there's your access for your 5¼ inch bay. You've got a really nice sort of removable mesh at the front here, along with your 3 white and black fans, and more acoustic protection on the front here. So your airflow comes through these vents on this white strips on the side. So actually that might impede airflow a little bit. It'd be interesting to see how that plays out. And then what we've got is we've got a PSU shroud at the bottom, and we've got space for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 3½ inch bays drives inside. Now it should be noted from reading the brief, you can remove these caddies, it looks like. So if you had a longer graphics card that you wanted to fit in here, you could. You can see probably just through the cutout on the motherboard tray here that there's insulation, sound insulation, soundproofing on the other side as well. Quite interestingly, for a case that's designed to be very minimalist and a case that isn't on display, they've spent a lot of time making the inside look really nice. I find that really interesting. They could have just got away with just having a bare steel or just this black colour, the same as everything else. But they've actually gone to the sort of lengths to try and make this sort of colour coded in a way. The aesthetic works really well. You've got the white blades on the fans. You've got every alternate PCI cover is white. And the motherboard tray is white as well. I really like this case. It feels... Antec have gone through a phase. They used to make some really good cases. I remember reviewing things like the Lamboy Air, which these days is a bit gaudy, but at the time was really sort of cutting edge and out there. And some of their ISK Mini ITX cases, back when I used to run the old Take Made Easy website. Those reviews no longer available, unfortunately. And I was really impressed with the quality, but they just seem to go downhill. But this is a really well built case. I really like the look of this. The finish seems to be superb. All the shut lines are really nice. There's nothing bulging out. Nothing feels particularly cheap. The front panel's plastic, but it's not bad. You've got a PSU cover at the back here that you can unscrew and remove, so you've got easy replacement or easy fitment of your PSU. Let's see what we've got in terms of cable management. So again, you can see the soundproofing on this side. It's noticed that actually, I will say, it could be just from shipping, but this acoustic panel is coming away slightly. So the glue just needs... Oh, it's gone back on, but I may need to re-glue that. But you've got an edge-to-edge acoustic protection on there. I don't know how much use that's going to be. So let's have a look at the rear side, which is similarly painted white. So we've got a decent amount of cable management there. You can see we've got the mounting system for all of our drive bays. So it looks like each pair of drive bays can be removed individually. So you could potentially remove some of the drive bays and fit things like a radiator if you want to do water cooling. Mounts for 2 2.5 inch drives on the back, in addition to the 8 3½ inch mounts. Guys, I think you would struggle these days to find a case that has as many options for storage as this does, looks as good as this does, is priced as well as this does. I am really impressed. This is a sort of return to form for Antec, really. And I am surprised they've spent so much time making this look as good as they have on the inside when it's designed to be closed off and not visible. It's almost like I want to fit a webcam inside just so I can show people what it looks like during the build. So, what are we going to do with this case? Well, I, for a while, have been running, a long time actually, I've been running a Synology DS412 Plus NAS. So the 12 in the name indicates that that model came out in 2012. And it was actually gifted to me by Synology when I was running the old Take Made Easy website. I'm sweating, it's getting hot in here because the AC is off. Now that NAS has performed admirably. It was being a Plex server, it was my main backup server. I had a web server running on it, and it's done surveillance work. I've had IP cameras plugged into it and stuff, but it was just getting a bit long in the tooth and it was starting to clunk a bit. And now that you know, when I got that, I was a young single guy. So it was only ever me accessing it, and I was only ever playing 1080p content. But now we're going to 4K content for the media side of things. I'm married, I travel a lot, we've got a daughter, I've got the Plex app on my phone, and if we're all trying to access things at work, it was just crashing. And I started to get really weird issues with latest software updates that it was crashing all the time. So I've elected to build my own home server. So that's what this is going to be the basis of. The next video that I upload with this case will be talking about the hardware that we're going to put into our NAS, and then hopefully there'll be a whole series of videos where I can demonstrate to you how to set up the software for NAS. So it's not going to be the de facto ultimate way of doing it. It's the way I would do it, and it's the way you might want to do it. So look forward for those videos, guys. If you're interested in those, please subscribe, like this video, like a comment, click notifications. You'll get notifications when the new videos come up. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this case, because I think it's really good. Feel free to ask me questions. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. As I say, I've funded this myself. This hasn't been sent to me by Antec. That was the original plan. They went very quiet, and I didn't want to hold this project up anymore. So I've paid for this myself, so you can be ensured that you're going to get an honest answer from me in terms of what I think of this case. I'm not being paid by Antec. This hasn't been given to me by Antec. Paid for it myself. Complete honesty on what I feel for this case. So ask me questions below. I'll be sure to get back to you. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you soon.